Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video, and well, back with a new unboxing video. Nothing unusual here on this channel, no surprises, but what is unusual is that this parcel, which came in from the man George Mastrokostas in Athens in Greece, has been sitting around here for like quite a while, for a week or so, because, well, I don't really know. Yesterday I was super motivated to do like an unboxing, and then in the end, in the evening, it was like, man, nah, I'm not doing that right now, I'm too tired. And over the weekend I've been working and in the record store as well, and somehow the past week was super busy, even though it's summer, and usually in summer there's a little bit of a slowdown for me, especially with my like secondary or tertiary job in nightlife, because well, there are no concerts and stuff happening in summer usually, so that slows down a little, but somehow there were a lot of other things to do, and well, this came a little bit short, I guess, but now we got a kind of hefty parcel, so I presume there is more than one album in there, so let's have a look. As you know, George Mastrokostas runs the Sound and Silence label in Athens, which is like a staple in like Greek ambient, post-rock, post-rock, and a little bit of like pop ambient within the last 2 years maybe. So super wide range, super active. I guess they have like about 10 or 12 releases a year, even maybe even more, considering that they have sent me a lot of parcels over the past years, basically since I started my channel. So let's find out what is in here actually. And yeah, the last weekend I've been working in the record store, which was pretty interesting. Also, the last shift, or the shift I did before that, was pretty interesting, and I sold a lot of introductory releases to a lot of interesting people. Some of those are even going to Chicago, or even went to Chicago, which is very interesting for me as a city, of course, with its like history in electronic music. Some went to other interesting people, so that was nice. And usually with sales of the label, also in the distribution company, it's a little bit of a slowdown as well in summer, but this year it looks like pretty good, so I'm quite happy with how things are developing right now. Also had a little talk with like a small place about DJing, maybe again at some point, if they manage to buy proper equipment. So this is a thing, and due to circumstances that have changed, I might be looking out a little bit more for DJ sets once again. And I'm going to the Groundzero Teknocamp in Meppen from in the end of August somehow, I guess 24th, 25th, and on Saturday I'm going to play like even though it's like a techno thing, I'm going to play like an old school garage, UK garage, Rave bootleg, and similar related things, on behalf of my man Sascha Müller, who invited me to come down there. So, but now for the Sound and Silence label, we got a stack. That does mean like 4 releases actually. And we'll have a look with the first one, all nicely folded. And there is a name I also I already recognize. This is Panoptique Electrical. The title is 4 years, Sound and Silence 114. As usual, have a look at the press sheet. They're all looking kind of the same. I really like the logo up there and the overall layout of those press sheets. And of course, Panoptique Electrical is Jason Sweeney, who has been releasing on Sound and Silence quite a lot. He is from South Australia, from Kaurna country actually, spelled Kaurny. So however you pronounce this with a proper Aussie accent, but and has been doing like a lot of things as Panoptique Electrical, and has used other aliases as well. 5th album on the label, and also he was involved in other projects, I guess. 10 new compositions of atmospheric textures and calming soundscapes, total duration of 40 minutes, warm pads, melancholic drones and minimal piano. So this is like classic Sound and Silence as we got to know the label at first. This is how the CD looks like. Once again, the typical Sound and Silence flap mechanism there. And we got a print run of 200 copies. This is copy 044. As you can see here, all hand numbered with a super neat and clean print, as they do. 4 years by Panoptique Electrical. And we got also a track list, which is hidden within the CD. 10 tracks on here, super classic ambient stuff, so that's what we know Sound in Silence for. Track names are, well, they are ambient track names for Oceans, for Sleeps, for Night, for Bells, for M, for Piano, for Spaces, for Stillness, for Pictures, and for Ruins. So this should be very calm and solemn and more also on the deep listening music side, I guess. And next one we got is not a name that I recognize, but but also with a cover artwork that is kind of unusual for Sound in Silence because it's more concrete and like photographic kind of. This is a collective. Memory Drawings is a collective led by Minneapolis-raised, Casablanca-based hammered dulcimer player Joel Hansen. Interesting side note, Aaron Spector, who some of you might know as jungle DJ and producer. Some of you might know him as Drum Corps, as someone who is like fusing metal, hardcore and breakcore. He's also like a trained dulcimer player, and he has, when I first had him come into Europe in 2004 maybe, 2006, around that time, on his first tour, and in Germany he was actually invited to like an official like dulcimer festival in the UK or in Scotland, and that's why he was here and was able to come over to Germany and stuff. The album of Memory Drawings is called Deathbed Requests, Sound in Silence 113. Once again, have a look at the press sheet. And the, okay, it's, that's kind of strange. I don't remember the name, Memory Drawings, but it's their 5th album and the 2nd release for Sound in Silence after a mini album called Phantom Lights back in 2019. Okay, maybe I've forgotten, because 5 years of reviewing stuff equals 1,500 albums I've listened to in the meantime, so forgive me if I don't remember that immediately. 8 tracks, dulcimer-driven post-rock that feel like chapters in a larger sonic narrative. There's a lot of background to what the title is about, which I'm not able to extract within like seconds here, so we leave it at that. Dulcimer-driven post-rock from an Anglo-American Australian collective, so multinational, transnational, and Memory Drawings, Deathbed Requests. This is how the album looks like. Quite a bold and pretty much harsh in-your-face font or type font for the Sound in Silence label. But I like that. This is a limited edition of 350 copies. But this is number 084, so this is quite a high number for a Sound in Silence release. We got a pretty track list here as well, which has like kind of long titles, of which like Non-Aggression Pact and A Necessary Fiction stand out. Divisible by 3 is also interesting and reminds me of the first, I guess, Played album, which was called Not for Threes. Not for Trees, but Not for Threes. And here's the CD. Post-rock, also a genre I need to dig more into, I guess. But a genre I really like, but I don't own many a post-rock thing on vinyl, which I should change, kind of. So, next one is Jar. This is a name I've seen. Sound in Silence 112, All These Past Lives. It's a return of Jar to the label. That's the press sheet. A collaboration between John Atwood of Yellow 6, which also is a staple on the Sound and Silence label, of course, and Ray Robinson of Wadwo. They reimagine and rearrange elements of each other's work, often blending existing components with fresh elements of craft, with fresh elements to craft something entirely new and hopefully innovative. This is an interesting thing, like to send each other music and like build something new from that. Heavily influenced by the music they create, the same notes can yield different compositions based on their mood or external circumstances at the time of creation. Consequently, they believe that their feelings are subtly woven into the fabric of their music, serving as a source of inspiration that enriches the creative process. Together they have done 4 full-length albums, and this is the third for Sound and Silence, I guess. At least one I have reviewed, probably both of them. 62 minutes long and 9 pieces, so this makes each piece like about 7 minutes maybe. There's also a photographic, but this, I've done a similar photograph of myself or my shadow a few months ago, which I then re-edited and put up on my Tumblr. I still use a Tumblr for glitch art. This is a limited edition of 200 copies. This is copy 037. And we got a CD. All these parsed lives. I like that type font. I might use it at some point to create a flyer or something, which for something more like cool and not that rundown and instrumental. And here is a track list, 60 minutes album, good stuff. I remember Jar as a project I really liked as well, but I don't remember when the last one came out, so my brain is kind of like blurring and mashing things together, I guess. And the last one is Sound and Silence 111. The Green Kingdom Arcadian. The Green Kingdom has had a release on the label not too far ago, or not too long ago. All the names stuck with me, and it has been a while. We will see, we will find out. Definitely a new album and a comeback to the label. Solo project of Michael Cotone, or Cotone, I guess. Sound artist and graphic designer based in Michigan, USA. Compositions blur the line between soundscape and structure while keeping a sharp focus on melody. Crafted from a variety of instruments, electronic sources, sample textures and field recordings, which is always an interesting sound source for sure. Has released on labels like Lost Tribe Sound, Dronarium, Home Assembly Music, Hidden Vibes, Past Inside the Present and others. 4th album on the label after the highly acclaimed Seen and Unseen, Solaria and Voyager. So that's why the name stuck, because I've reviewed a multiple of his albums definitely. Floating ambience and enchanting soundscapes consisting of 9 new tracks, total duration 41 minutes, mastered once again by George Mastrokostas, which is the head of Sound and Silence and also the man behind Absent Without Leave. And the album looks like a Austrian painting, but the rocks and mountains on this one are way too steep to be from the European Alps, so this might be a mountain range in a different part of the world. Once again, opened by the flat mechanism, 200 copies. This is copy 36 of 200. And we got a CD once again, clean cut, The Green Kingdom Arcadian, and of course we got also a track list here, which probably is taken from the same painting. So this is I don't even know what to call this style. This is not like photorealism, of course, but this is very close to what reality looked like to people like 60, 70, 80 years ago maybe. not too sure. I'm not like an art geek in terms of like classic paintings, so I don't know. If you have any idea how to call that style, that specific style of painting, let me know. So this is it, like 4 new albums from the Sound and Silence Camp. Looking forward to review those on my website nightstyles.de, which for 2025 might slow down a little if that promo agency that told me that they're going to stop sending out CDs for good will like follow up on that idea. So I still don't know why labels don't want their CDs sent out to people who write with their like full heart and stuff and with like a passion, but well, I don't care for digital files, so that will mean probably a lot of labels either start to send me CDs on their own, or they will stop like getting reviews. But we'll see how that goes. But we'll definitely think about a new direction for Nightstyles to go in, and maybe like change a little bit of my setup and well, do other things with the website. We'll see, but the review part will be still a part of that. So Bass Junkie out for now. Gonna go into editing mode. See you in the next one, I guess, which is about to come soon. See you later.